Bedford Hospital. Honestly, I felt like that was more home than being at home with my own family. So it's a little, I felt like I was more loved in the That was all.
That was your first time feeling loved?
It felt like home.
What's up, YouTube? Back in the lab with KD for the summertime. And this time I got my hitters with me. If you want to get this work, hit up at KD with the muscle on Instagram. Now back to the content. What's up, YouTube? Atlanta Street Interviews out here with another one. So we got a young lady with us today. How you doing today, miss?
I'm good.
All right. So are you homeless?
I am currently.
Okay, and so how old are you?
I'm 24 years old.
24, and so how long have you been homeless?
So in 2018, I got out of Cobb County Jail.
Okay.
And I met my daughter's dad, my first child's dad.
Okay.
Inside the county jail.
Inside the jail?
Yes.
Okay, was it a co-ed
So
jail?
we was inside the infirmary, and we when we met, like it was like a suicide unit. I'm pretty sure a lot of people know about turtle suits and stuff. So that's where we met. I got out a day before his birthday, July 19, 2018.
Okay.
And so I went back to my mom's home. I was like, what they call it? I was, what's the word?
5150 to 1013 to something like that?
No, I was what's the word? It's a word they lock you up for when you're a juvenile, but basically I was a disobedient child. I thought I knew everything.
Okay.
And I just didn't want to listen to my mom. She told me he's not for you and you don't need to go with him.
Yeah, I mean, because you met him in a, an infirmary unit. So, how many kids do you have?
I have 5.
5?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Same dad or different dads?
So I have my first 2 with the same dad.
Okay.
I have twins with someone else. And then I have my son with someone.
Okay. Okay. How old is the son? How's his youngest?
He's 3 months now.
3 months, and so how old is the oldest?
She's 5.
Okay, and so do the kids all live together?
4 of them do. My mom just recently took my son in because I left a domestic violence shelter because I couldn't get back and forth to work. So I left the shelter in Henry County and came back to Atlanta and kind of got myself in a messed up situation.
Okay. Yeah. We're going to talk about it. So, all right. So as far as though the 3-month-old, he lives with your mom?
I gave her custody like 2 or 3 days ago.
Okay. And so what about the other 4? Who do they live with?
They live with my first baby daddy's mother.
Okay, so even the ones that are not related to, so she took all of them in?
Yeah, she got custody of them when I went to jail last year. What was it? Well, first my mom had them when I went to jail. I dropped them off because I was on the run with a warrant out of Clayton County.
What was that for? What was the warrant for?
So at the time I had my apartment and I was behind on bills and I was desperate for a job. I had all my kids in the house and I didn't have no caps or nothing. I was desperate for a job and I started applying for jobs on ZipRecruiter. And the job on ZipRecruiter said they was paying $40 an hour. So I was like, okay, boom. All right, I'm just go with it. They mailed me a check in the mail. Right now I'm going on a trial for it now. I pled not guilty. And I took the check to a check cashing place over there on Riverdale and Forest Park next to a filet of chicken next to the Waffle House across the racetrack. I ain't cashed a check or nothing. I took the check in there trying to cash. I had my twins in my car at the time. I had a Dodge Grand Caravan. And I took the check inside. He took my ID. And I at the time we was typing through Skype. The scammers that threw me on the bus, we was talking through Skype. And I called his phone number. He didn't pick up. He didn't do nothing inside the check cash place. So they called Riverdale police. They banned me from the property. I got like 1 more year left on my van. And right now I'm still fighting that court case almost 2 years.
You ended up going to jail for that?
I was pulled over in Rome, Georgia. They told me I had a warrant. They let me go though. They told me come back to Atlanta and just turn myself in. I did not. But I did end up going to jail for it. When did it happen? It happened in April. I got locked up in September last year.
Okay, so let's put a timeline where, because it seems like there's a lot that's gonna come from this, right? So let's just, okay, so we got the kids living with your baby daddy's mom, and then your last living with your mom. Okay. Have you ever been married?
I was engaged, and that's another crazy
Is that to
thing.
the first baby daddy?
Yeah.
Okay.
And some told me to just like don't do it. And I was pregnant with my second child. When we went down to the Fulton County courthouse, I signed the papers like a dummy, but I didn't sign the official document. Some told me, Brittany, don't sign that document. You know how men, they act like this so they can get their way and then they turn back. So some told me don't do it, he faking. As soon as I said, nah, I don't want to marry you, started acting a fool.
What did he do?
He started saying stuff like, you just want to leave me because you think I'm doing crack. And I'm just like, I don't know what you're talking about. I never thought
Well, I mean,
anything.
was he doing crack?
I found the crack pipe on him like maybe afterwards, and I was trying to run away from him at that point. I was running away from him at the train station. I thought I lost him. He behind me again. So somehow, I think it was just God. He ended up going to prison. I got away from him. This was in 2020. I came down to Mercy Care right there. I think it was May of 2021. They sent me to Chris 180. I was 21 years old. Yeah, it was 21 years old. I went to Mercy Care. They got me my apartment, my very first apartment at 21 years old.
Okay,
But,
okay, yeah, I'm gonna put a pin in this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's just start from the beginning. Where are you from?
I was born at South Fulton Medical Center. Right
Okay,
here
so
in
you from here.
Yeah.
All right, so shout out to ATL, man. Shout out that South Fulton all day. It's a whole city now, South Fulton. All right, so growing up in Atlanta, basically, did you have both mom and dad in the household?
So at the time, my dad was a truck driver. My mom it was just me, my mom, and my brother who was 17 when I was born.
Okay, so there was a wide gap.
Yeah.
Do y'all share the same dad or different dads?
I don't know what none of my brothers and sisters' dads is. I think I'm the only one. Well, my brother that was born before me, he know his dad, but I never met him. He was killed. So I think I'm the only one that knows who my dad is.
So was mom into drugs and all that type of stuff?
Nah.
Why was she having all these babies with guys that just, I guess, abandoned or dipped out? How many kids did she have? How many
brothers? She has 4. I was born 20 years after her last, her third.
So, okay, so you're like the baby, like by a lot.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it. Your oldest brother, you say, was 17 when you were born. Your youngest,
he was my third brother.
Right, your youngest. Yeah, I get it.
My first sibling was born in 1981, maybe, or 1980.
Okay, so they're like a couple years older than me.
Yeah.
Okay. So mom is older.
She's in her 60s, about 65 or 66.
Same age as my mom.
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. So, I mean, okay, so dad was on the road. Was dad around the same age?
He was born in 56. My mom was born in 58.
Yeah, so he's around the same age. So,
yeah.
Okay, so dad was an over-the-road truck driver. Did you like get to see him a lot and stuff like that?
On the weekends, it's a little difficult because, okay, so when I was growing up, my mom, I was a baby, but she told me a few stories where he was touching me when I was a baby and stuff like that. So it was kind of difficult. I saw him on the weekends. Yeah. So I saw him on the weekends. He'll give me like $100 outside of the child support payments and stuff that he was supposed to pay.
Well, I mean, do you ever remember him touching you?
I don't remember.
Okay, so I mean, it's...
But I do know it's always been some things he said when I was growing up, and I was a pretty smart child. And
like what?
I guess we could start from when I was 5. I was going to the park lane. No, I was actually doing good at that time. So I'm thinking about 6 or 7. I was going to Avondale Elementary. I was
on the east side?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Okay, that's right up the street from where I grew up.
Yeah.
I grew up in Belvedere.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, man, shout it out, man.
I was being bullied by this girl named Jasmine Rayner. She was just a popular girl, and I was a straight A and B student on the road, perfect attendance, and my mom raised me up to be old school. She dressed me up like an old school child.
Right. She was older, so people would make fun of you, right?
And I remember on a Christmas day we had this parade or whatever it was at the school, and my mom was there, and I'll never forget. She made that little girl cry, and one day I had a friend named Destiny. I wrote a suicide letter, and then I might start crying, but I was referred by the school counselor, Miss Henry. I was kicked out of public school because I was sent to Peachford Hospital.
Okay,
And,
so let's how do we get there? How do we get there? Where did all this kind of, whatever this pain is that caused you to end up in mental illness situations and things like that, how did we get there?
My mom was a little older, and she didn't really understand me like that, and I used to grow up seeing her arguing with my dad on the phone, and I really don't know where it came from myself. I'm still trying to get past that trauma right now still, you know.
So you don't know where this whatever trauma, pain, stress, whatever, you don't know where it came from, even from the childhood?
Mm-mm.
Okay, I'm gonna ask a couple pointed questions, right? You talked about what your mom said happened when you was a baby or when you was younger, too young to remember. Did anything happen that you remember in childhood? Any type of sexual abuse or anything like that?
It was comments, more so comments, but I never let it get to that level.
What type of comment?
When I was 7, 8, or 9, I was staying with my dad at my grandma's house because at that time my mom had lost her. My dad changed the locks on our apartment, so we had to go to a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
He kept me on the weekends, or however it was, she couldn't get me to school because she was working at Enterprise running a car.
Okay.
And she was battling between work and getting me to school and daycare. So I had to stay the night at his house sometimes. And it was a night where all my clothes was dirty. He was like, get in the bed, ain't nobody go touch me, to go touch you, as me.
Right.
And I usually sleep with my jacket on, and I would wake up and my jacket is off. And so that night that I had no clean clothes, he said, just get in bed naked, nobody's gonna touch you.
And you say you was 7 or 8?
7, 8, or 9. I just sleep in the bed with him.
Okay.
And I was like, you know what? I found some clean clothes. It's okay. And I wake up my jacket off, but I didn't wake up with no pants or anything. But I'm a heavy sleeper, so I don't know what happened in my sleep. And he also made a statement. I'm gonna get you, your mama, your grandma. I'm gonna stand out in the yard selling bikinis and get some customers come buy some stuff. And that's a little bit forward to when I was 16 right there, but a lot of stuff has happened between 9 and 16 years old.
Like what?
So for my first admission to Peachford Hospital, I felt like that was more home than being at home with my own family. So it's a little, I felt like I was more loved in the
That was your first time feeling loved?
It felt like home. And then I went to River's Edge, Willowbrook. I just been all over Georgia. Then I entered foster care.
At what age?
Really deep has been involved in my life from age 8 because I used to run away. Not from home, but like sometimes I did, but I returned and end up being readmitted to a mental hospital. But I would run away from school. Just destroy the neighborhood. My mom
What's up, bro? You good? Okay. Yeah.
It ain't our fault.
I can dig it. All right, cool beans.
Gotta
be careful with these folks.
Just back and forth, running away. I was arrested at 14 because I was unruly. I was arrested, taken to RYEC.
So let me pause you real quick. So you're saying that you can't figure out at all why you was running away?
My mom, she didn't understand me, so she was more so aggressive.
She was too old school, and she was too old school for you as a new school baby.
Yeah, basically.
Growing up in this society with all of the examples that you see around you, and then comparing that to, I guess, how you came up. See, had I grew up with your mom, it would have been nothing for me, right? Because I'm from that era, but you're not. And so for you, it caused, I guess, traumatic stress.
Yeah.
To the point to where you didn't feel, I guess, loved or protected, it sounds like.
Yeah.
or understood more so. Is that what I'm kind of picking up on?
Yeah, it's like, I guess she's used, and it's another thing my aunt always said, that my mom was, I guess, abused by her mom, and it kind of fell back on me, I guess.
Yeah, because if your mom is from, you know, if she's born in the 50s and her mom was born in the 30s or 40s, you know what I'm saying? That's from the time when they was coming out of the Depression.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
She
And so
she drunk all day, all night. I think my mom said.
Talking about your mom's mom, your grandma?
Yeah, I think my mom ended up being with the grandmother all the time and stuff. So.
Okay, so she may have gotten abused and passed it down. Okay, so all right. So you started running away young. You ended up in the hospital in your teenage years, and you felt like that was more so a safe haven for you. A place where you could feel more
like I can be myself and people understand me. Yeah.
How long would you be staying at these hospitals for?
Sometimes I would say I wanted to kill myself so I could go, and then when it was time to leave, I didn't want to leave half the time.
How much time would that be?
A lot. I've been
like I'm asking, like, how long were the stints that you was there?
The longest I've stayed is like your maximum is 7, but sometimes I might have stayed to like 12 days. Okay,
7 days, 12 days, stuff like that.
And then the other time I would go to a PRTO, which is a long-term hospital that can last up to a year or 2, or however it takes for you to be able to graduate to go back into society. I've never really graduated out of, but maybe like one time in one of the PRTFs, and I ended right back in there a year later.
Okay, so have you ever had any sex trafficking, been any? Okay, so what age did that come about?
I think I was 21.
And so what was the circumstances of that? How did you get into the sex trafficking?
So I was in my apartment. I just had my twins. I was working from home, a good paying job. And a friend that I know was talking about, she found this little thing. It was legal. And somehow, I can't even remember. Oh, she said, you can make more money doing this than sitting on the phone, answering calls all day. I was like, okay, well, I'm about to come over there and pull up on you and see what you're talking about. At the time, I knew nothing about no mega personals, no list. I didn't know what the heck this stuff was. And it was a childhood friend that I met inside one of those hospitals. For an example, Hillside Hospital, Laurel Heights, Devereaux.
Okay.
And I was talking, I want to say, you know exactly who, but someone that I share kids with now. At the time, I was supposed to it started off as selling drugs, and then it ended up turning into trafficking. He wasn't my trafficker. I was like more so willing doing it.
So which one was the one that convinced you? The girl, or one of your baby daddies?
The girl.
Okay, and so she convinced you how? Like, what did she say, or what happened? Like, you walked in and she was like, "Oh, tricked you."
No, I'm trying to remember how I even started it. Like, how did I even get in that deep? I think it was we went to Athens in my car, because I'm the only one that has a driver's license. And I had just bought my car, a brand new car, and I gave her my old car that I had just bought 2 weeks apart. I bought 2 cars 2 weeks apart. I gave her my Toyota, and I took my Dodge Journey. And we went to Athens. I don't know where we left the Toyota at, but I'm pretty sure we left it in the hotel parking lot in Forest Park and drove to Athens. And I think that was when I first started at the, what is it called, Howard Johnson Hotel. It was a federal agent that came. He was like, yeah, you know, they raiding this hotel. Y'all might want to get on. You know, she took the first play, and we went back to Atlanta after the feds told us to get, you know, leave.
But did that happen right away, or did that happen like after y'all was there for a little while?
It happened a little bit after, like when we took the first play. The first person that came up was the feds in the black charge. I was like, they look like the feds. She
the very first person?
Yeah, we was like, I like that black charge look like the feds. And so she told me, go get in my car and drive off. And I said, I'll call you or whatever, something going wrong. And I come back, she said, yeah, that was the feds. She said, we need to leave.
Okay, well, which one is it though? Because you said that you ended up making a few plays while you was there.
When we came back to Forest Park, that's when I started making my plays. I didn't get to make no plays because the feds told us that's the league.
Okay. So that happened in Forest Park. Okay. And so, how long was you doing that for?
I didn't like doing it. I wanted to go back to work, and I was depressed doing it.
Right. Why'd you stop work if you was making? You say you was making decent money.
Yeah, I didn't know. Like, I'm just sitting here, monkey seeing, monkey doing, basically.
Okay, I get it.
I didn't know what I was getting into.
Okay, how much at the height of it, right? Like, how much would you say you would make in any given day or week or whatever?
On a good day, I came home with probably like 1,000 a night, but average 500 a day. Out calls is where I made the most money.
Okay, so
I didn't really like nobody coming to my apartment unless I've made a connection with them on out calls.
Right.
Know them because that's where my kids was at. I don't want nobody in my apartment knowing the door number.
Okay, so you was doing that, and you started at 21. What age did you do it to?
I stopped shortly August of 20. What was it?
2023.
No, it was before that. I think I started. So my twins was born in 2021 of December. So it started in 2022, May 5th, 2022, and ended somewhere in between August 2022. I got me a job at McDonald's, 15 an hour at the airport.
Okay, so you was just doing it for about 3 months or so?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so as far as it goes, was there any confirmed incidents of any type of sexual abuse when you was younger?
If it was, I don't remember, but the ones that I know that my dad made remarks, I prevented it from happening. I've always spoken.
Because, I mean, obviously have you told your dad how you feel about those remarks?
He knows. I've called him a pervert, and I've called him trying to do things to my kids recently. As far as my son.
Like what? What was he trying to do to your kids?
So the last incident occurred when I left Haven House Domestic Violence Shelter recently. I came down here because my family was so sure. My dad, grandma, they were so sure that, they would help me and make sure I get back and forth to work. And my son has curly hair, which rarely gets tangled. And I just see him brushing his hair with his fingers. And he was like, well, now your hair won't get tangled. And I'm just like, what is your fingers gonna do? But I said in my head, he did it like 2 times and said, oh, you act like you don't want me touching him. And I blocked him out, and I heard him say something about a pervert. And he was sitting on the side and said, what you say about a pervert? He was like, remember that text you sent me last year? And I just ignored him.
Well, I mean, but have you actually had a real conversation with him about how those things made you feel?
No, but he's more so offensive when I bring it up.
Okay, so this is perfect because sometimes what we do on this channel is we talk to people because it's hard to talk to them in person. So it's easier to get out everything that we feel when we could just say it and not have a rebuttal. And so if your dad's watching, right, he's watching this video right now, look him in the eyes and tell him exactly how those things made you feel. Or anything else that you just want to get off your chest.
Well, if I'm going to be blunt, brutally honest, like I told him to his face, he was dead to me. Especially after what he did to me this morning. And the other day... You
say what he did to you this morning?
I went to go get my stuff from his house. Out of a green truck that he does not own. It's not registered to him. It's not registered to me either. He put a brake on it as if I can't break the brake and drive off. The car is bigger than a brake. So I don't know what he thought he was doing. So once I realized the car is connected to a brake, I jumped out the driver's seat and I braked it. Somehow the car ended up breaking down the street. And I paid for the keys to the car and everything. He's not getting the keys back. He never will unless he go pay me, reimburse me for them keys. I got my suitcases out. And next thing you know, he's following me down the street and parking in front of the bus driver till I stole his car. A car that's not registered to him. He has no title to and don't even know how to spell the owner's name. And it was given to him. He has 2 cars. It was given to him, but I took it in my own hands to take it for myself.
Well, I get it, but you just said it was given to who?
Him. But he's trying to sell
Okay.
it to people, and
So-
he doesn't even have a title.
Well, okay, but if it was given to him, essentially it's his car, right? So I
Not
get how you
legally.
feel. It's not legally his car, but it's his car, and ultimately you took it, right? So can you see that? That's, you know,
I mean,
like just
after
seeing it from
how
his
he did
perspective.
me dirty, I personally feel like that was my revenge.
What did he
although I
do?
didn't
What
get too far.
I didn't hear what he did you dirty. Like, what did he do?
He called me a bitch. After it escalated, where his mother said she was going to punch me in the face with my 3-month-old son in my arm. I called my mom. She said, you know what? I'm coming to pick up the baby. Ain't nobody got time for that. My grandson not about to keep going through that. I'm like, okay, cool. Police come, sit out there over an hour until my mom come from Cobb County, pick up the baby. And she picks me up as well and dropped me off right here at Gateway. And me and my mom don't get along too much, you know.
Obviously, like, she dropped you off here instead of took you home.
Yeah, and I don't really do too well away from my son.
Are you a danger to her in any type of way?
No, I'm on my medicine.
Have you guys ever fought?
Risperdal, but she just doesn't know I'm actually going to counseling on my medicine.
Okay, so I mean, she'll hear that now, right? She watches this video. But have you guys fought before?
I used to beat on her when I was a teenager.
Okay, so she may see it as you're a danger because she's older now, and so, you know, any incident like that could result in death. You know what I'm saying? When you reflect on that, how do you feel about that?
Like what I used to do to her?
Yes.
It's hard to say because I feel bad for what I did to her, yes, but my kids, each time I'm scared to leave her with my kids because of what she did to me last year when I lost my apartment in June and I had a warrant out for my arrest and I was on the run.
And what did she do?
I dropped my kids off to her because me and my daughter's dad, me and them wasn't getting along, the whole family, and I was like, I ain't gonna drop them off to them. They not gonna give a fuck because I done got custody of the kids and shit. They're not gonna give a fuck. So I dropped them off to my mom. They would be safe with her. And I get out of jail this year in January, and I've done a lot in jail. And I beat my case for it though, but
You got out of jail in January, and what happened? What did she do to you? I'm still trying to hear.
Defects told me the reason they were removed to her and placed with my daughter's dad was because when they came over for the home visits, my daughter, I'm going to use the initial JB, she would talk to the social worker and tell the social worker to please take me with you. And when I asked my mom about why they're removing them from you, there has to be a reason why they're removing you. You had them since August or July last year.
Right.
She's like, I don't know, defects don't fuck with me. They hate me for some reason. And I'm like, but there's no reason for them to remove them from you. So defects told me after I had my son in April what happened. She was telling him my oldest, KP, her initials KP, you act just like your mama. Something, I'm sick and tired of you. Some stupid stuff she was saying.
It's basically verbal abusing them is what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
I get it.
My 3-year-old was telling the social worker, please take us with you. And my daughters, they don't act out for no reason. They're just like me. They don't just act out for no reason. They're really quiet. And only time they act out is if someone's doing something to them, and I teaches them how to speak up to me. If they don't speak to nobody else, they're going to tell me everything. And they don't act out for no reason. So when somebody says that my child pulled something out of the refrigerator, I'm going to ask you, what did you do to her for her to destroy your refrigerator?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I get it. So, okay. So that's why you're out here. That's what's going on.
And I'm out here because I'm getting assistance from Nicholas' house. I'm not out here just to be out here. I'm trying to get my life together so my kids can come back home. I got an apartment on the way, but my job don't give me enough hours. I'm working like maybe 7 hours a week. They're telling me that GBS Hospitality dropped everybody hours around Georgia and won't be back up to office. My check stubs is looking like $66.
I get it, but you got to get another job.
Yeah, I'm doing that. And Nicholas' house is also securing everything for my moving costs. It's just right now, it's just hard trusting God that the apartments will just overlook what my check stubs is saying, because I also have another source of income vouching for me that they're going to pay everything up until I get a real better job.
Okay.
So, I mean, I just finished that process today, but I'm just waiting on you've been approved or you've been denied right now.
Okay. All right. Well, look, I mean, on that note, if anybody out there did want to reach out, help or donate, do you have a way they could do that? Do you have social media, Cash App, anything like that?
I was banned from Cash App. I only got Chime, and I do have social media.
What's your IG or Facebook?
My Facebook that I use is, well, I will have to make it public for everybody to search me, but it's Rooney, ROONIE, Bae, BAE, or Brittany, BRITTANY, There's a lot of fake pages with my real last name. So
Okay.
BOLDEN for the last name.
Okay, what about
My
IG?
IG is what is it? Look up PR Britt, or what did I just change it to? I think it's PR Britt.
All right.
But I'm about to change. If I can change it again, it'll probably be I don't know. I can't remember. I got my phone on me. It's on the charger. And I have a TikTok. It's PR Britt.
PR Britt.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, listen, we really appreciate you taking the time answering all of our questions. And we definitely wish you nothing but the best out here, okay?
Thank you.
Make sure you have a good one, sweetie.
You too.
All right.
I got a camera.